Hello, 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 and welcome to TGE Tuesdays, albeit on a Wednesday. I am joined today by a very special guest. You are a very special guest.
Thank you.
Welcome to this little setup. It's not bad. This is not my gaff, sadly. This is Veloce HQ.
I'm sorry for making a Tuesday become a Wednesday.
Do you know what? It's good to be unique. It's good and keeps us on our toes. But yeah, we finally managed to track you down and pin you down for an hour of your time, which is
definitely
very difficult. So today what we're going to be doing, you guys are going to be firing your questions at him, and you're also going to be driving along live with him on YouTube, on Forza. So you've got Forza Horizon 4. Is it Forza Horizon 4? I'm not very good at this sort of thing. Yes. You can join in. So if you search my gamer tag, you can hop in, and if you've already filled in the form that was banding around on social media for the past few days, A, you can win some merch, and B, you will already be added into the game automatically. So all very exciting stuff, and you can drive along with Tim. Tim, Are you any good at this?
I'm learning very quickly here, and I'm currently driving around in my Senna, what looks like my Senna, and I like how the air brake goes up as well.
It's very accurate, this game, actually.
And a big shout out to those of you out there who have actually made some of these liveries of my actual cars in games. I find it incredible.
It's mad. There's numerous Pister attempts as well.
What's over there?
Rest in peace. What have we got? Hooning around over there. Right, I'm going to be keeping an eye on your questions as well, so I'm going to be firing some of those at Tim. Tim's going to be trying to keep an eye on the questions, but he doesn't know what I'm going to throw at him. So if you've got stuff that you want to ask him, now is your chance. They're all coming in thick and fast. We're also going to go through what on earth you've been up to, because you're now in the UK online, are you not?
Yeah, I am now.
You are. You've announced the fact that you're in the UK. So Tim, for those that don't know, I'm sure pretty much all of you know this, Tim actually operates at a different time to what you see online. Obviously things have to be edited, so he can be in a completely different country, but everyone thinks he's in America, so you're now revealed that you're in the UK.
It's a complicated one, right? Especially at the moment with travel restrictions, regulations and all of that, and not knowing where you might fall into a quarantine. And actually, do you know what? Obviously the UK has this, what do you call it, red list thing for travelling back from certain countries. And worrying that the US might fall into the red list, we had to get ahead with a buffer of content. Thankfully it didn't. Did test to release after 5 days, which was already 2 weeks ago. Crazy. First time I probably said that. I've actually been back in England for 3 weeks.
Not 3 days as people think.
Yeah,
because
odd one. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to. Editing, timetables, scheduling, planning. It depends, because sometimes I'll film a video and put it out literally the same day.
Yeah, with embargoes and stuff as well, sometimes you have to be on the money, contemporaneous, get it straight out.
Yeah, it's a bit like, it's a strange one to say, but it's a bit like a TV show sometimes. You have a schedule, you have a plan, you know? You're filling in those
and
gaps.
You keep the script secret as well, so when you've got a new car, and you, like, even for now, maybe you have something that you're sat on that you haven't got on the internet yet. That thing has to be shrouded in secrecy, like the new EastEnders kind of storyline. Who killed who? You have to sit on it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and everyone around you say, have to keep it quiet, transport people, no pictures of it.
I'm not making people sign NDAs.
Not yet.
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to keep things under wraps sometimes. I got spotted in a new one driving around recently.
Really?
But I'm not quite as big time, so I can drive around and I'm less likely to get spotted, and less people care.
I've been spotted, and some of you guys have sent me DMs.
Oh, have you been do you resist the urge then? If you get something
I
new,
go and drive.
You go and drive it around anyway, and you think, sod it, if it gets out, it gets out. I'll just remove a few Instagram tags, fine. Yes. I just won't repost the stories.
Yes.
Fine, well, we'll work out what that one is as and when that gets dropped on the channel. So America then, you went everywhere. I couldn't really get to grips with where you were, what you were doing. You were just everywhere. It was chaos.
I mean, basically called Miami more or less home. It's a weird one, because back at in late 2019, early 2020, I went through the whole process to get my US work visa to spend more time officially in the US, officially working, which is obviously a very serious topic.
I know, drive around.
Yeah, you go for that.
I really embarrassed myself. How do you move forward?
Have the keys to my Senna. Go drive.
This is actually probably better than I'd drive it in real life. Have one. Yeah, go on.
So I'd been planning in 2020 to spend a significant chunk of that year in the United States doing this kind of stuff, but also one or two other business things behind the scenes. I don't know what you're doing.
This is why I rarely do gaming. Do you know what? I'm only marginally better in real life. Marginally. It's terrifying.
I'm not sure I'm giving you the keys to the
No,
centre
don't
anytime
do
soon.
it. I'll take every corner off it. Go on, sorry, carry on.
No, so the plan was always to spend a lot more time in Miami, like I said. Got a couple of business things going on out there, and 2020 just went pear-shaped for me as it did for everyone.
Yeah.
So it was more a case of actually ending up there was coincidental. Like, I could have gone out to the US during 2020, and for the purposes of work, I had some things that had to be dealt with.
Yeah.
But obviously circumstances went the way they did, and at the end of 2020, I went out to the Middle East, and then after we left, the UK decided to close down travel, borders, everything, and go into a lockdown. So it was kind of, well, it's a strange scenario, but given I'm in this scenario at this stage, why would I go home? You know, I can go and shoot some cool content.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
Finally, because the US travel ban banned you from coming to the US if you've been in Europe in the previous 14 days.
Yeah.
So it's finally like, oh, now I can get over to America, so let's go. Flew over, went over for a certain high-speed record run. Remember at the beginning?
Yes. That went well.
Went over for that, and then
went well for you.
well, I mean, I didn't end up going in the end. Long story.
Yeah.
And then decided, yeah, I'm going to stay. Why leave? You know, I could technically. So my visa status in the US, I could live there. I can go and live there. So it's like.
Did well with that.
It was expensive and difficult and took a lot of time and interviews and all sorts of things. So a lot had to go into getting that, but. You know, at this stage, it's kind of right now. I can get my business off the ground. There's actually, like I said, like you, I've got a few things in the background. One of which, based in Miami, is now finally coming into fruition, which is very exciting.
Have you put that online yet? Sorry, I'm a little bit behind the curve. Okay,
not
fine.
online yet.
Any tips? Any hints? Any clues? Any exclusives?
No, I mean, I don't talk about everything. I think like many people who are, I don't know what the word for it is. Like you and I always.
If you say entrepreneur, then you sound like
no. I'm avoiding that word.
It's a horrible
most
word.
entrepreneurs wouldn't call themselves an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Someone who calls themselves.
I say jack of all trades, master of none.
Yes.
People usually end. I say jack of all trades, and then people add the bit at the end. But
yeah.
No, I admire it, and we do chat a lot behind the scenes, and it's really admirable the stuff you're up to.
But I think it's
constant.
It's fun, always trying to look at what the next opportunity might be, what's on the cards, what
absolutely
I could get involved in. So there are some things I don't talk about, some I do, and we'll see what happens with this project in the US. But you know, it's a crazy position to be in, to travel so much and to meet so many people around the place. From I just straight into the trees.
I can only apologise if you're viewing
this guy in the Koenigsegg who's driving with you. I like that. That's Naraya. The blue. I think it was anyway. I like that driving with you there.
It's much better than me. Not hard.
Well, he's just staying on the tarmac and you're in the trees. You know, I was going to say, meeting so many people and having this crazy access to some incredible places and car collections and hypercars and things. I feel like I'm very lucky to be in a almost totally unique, potentially unique situation in terms of the number of these different cars I've seen and driven. And
you've driven everything. As soon as I'm like, oh, Tim, I might get one of these on WhatsApp. Be like, yeah, driven 4 of them, blah, 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 blah. Disrespect, reeling it all.
I had 1 week on my channel, and those of you guys watching who have followed the last couple of weeks might have seen this. I had 1 week where it was kind of Devo, Sian, Vulcan, Zonda R, Huayra Roadster BC.
It's ridiculous.
And it got to the state where even I was like, and I know that some people watching were like, it's just another hypercar. There's another one. Like, oh, I've done that.
You must be desensitized to it by now. Surely, if you see like just a Bogo Zonda, if Bogos they come, you're like, oh, it's a Bogo one. I can't. I don't really have time to drive that. Surely, I've driven 6 of the Zonda Cinques.
It goes both ways, right? I'm still a little excited kid at Christmas every time there's an opportunity to do something with a really cool car. I think that there are times when sometimes I will for sure be like, oh, I don't want to pick up the camera and make a video, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I filmed, like you say, 10 918s, I don't need to drive another 918 or whatever.
Yeah, I've never even sat in one.
Really?
Oh no, I lie, I've sat in one, yeah. But
you should go drive one.
I should. If you want to give me your 918, let me know and I'll drive it around like this, like I'm doing on screen. Holler at your boy.
Yeah, straight into a brick wall.
And that is why nobody's given me the keys to their 918.
But no, I had a couple of cool things in the US as well, off camera, driving in various cars that I wouldn't necessarily make videos with because, you know, like we were just saying, if I've recently done a video driving in a something,
Yeah.
even if it's epic, I'm not going to make another video and another one 2 weeks later.
No. You got. I mean, it's
I made a slight
content thing.
exception on that with the Sabre. I drove 2 different Sabres on this tour.
I mean, there's literally
But
none
it's-
of them, and you managed to drive 2 of them within short
And I
succession.
might
of
have
time.
even seen a third one that isn't on a video.
I love that. There's
Private.
like there's just stuff that people get their limb to do. and they
I've
just,
seen some cool stuff that I couldn't film over the years. I've seen some really,
I'm just
really
tempted
cool
sometimes
stuff.
just to be like, sod it.
Sneak
I'll
the
just,
phone under the
I'll just
arm, grab
fall
the
out with
photo.
whoever it is and just get the exclusive up.
I would generally say if somebody owns a bunch of hypercars, they aren't really a person you want to fall out with. They might,
You
they
very
might
quickly
know somebody.
get yourself some concrete boots pretty quickly and find the nearest canal. Yeah. No, you're right on that one. It's not good to rub people up the wrong way. They've got billions of pounds. Favorite car then you drove in America? Is it an easy?
Do you know what?
Choice?
So I always say when it comes down to like a favorite car to drive. Oh, we've got some pizza.
Chaos.
We've got Forza Pizza and podcast, and you guys joining us.
I've got a Bmw and I'm off-roading in a Senna. It's all kicking off.
Thank you, Mahmood.
Is it vegan, Mahmood?
Yes.
I'm a vegan, Mahmood.
Margarita
Yeah.
pizza.
Mahmood, I'm a vegan.
I'll leave this.
Do you know what? I ate a pizza on a video once before.
Yeah.
I got in a lot of trouble for it.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a really messy pizza, so we had a knife and fork.
And we were slice it. I was keen to show you guys. You can,
Oh,
actually, you can
Thank you so much. Do you want to show the viewers at home the pizza as well,
Yeah, yeah.
seeing as you made such a
I'll
song
get
and
it on the
dance of
stream.
it?
Okay, everybody can enjoy the pizza.
There we go. I've even stopped playing just so you can all
We will
admire the pizza.
virtually send everyone slices of pizza.
There we go. Give Crisp some. Crisp is outside, everyone.
Yeah.
My dog.
I'll walk around.
Thank you.
Can we get him out? Have we got security here? Can we get him out? Get rid of him.
No, so the thing with the with the Sabres,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like I say, normally drive 2 of the same car, one after the other, but that came together so much just because it's a car that's so close to me, because it's heavily based on this, right? Driving this
Yeah.
But my favourite drive of the whole tour wasn't just because of the car, although it is quickly becoming one of my favourite cars in the world, but also snowy day.
Right.
Anything surrounded by snow is cooler.
It's fun.
Just white surroundings with a clear road makes everything infinitely
Absolutely.
more picturesque. Epic cars in convoy, good group of people driving a LaFerrari.
Was that
but
with old
properly.
Powerside Lover?
No, in the US. So with 458 Destroyer in Tennessee.
That was another time you went out on a laugh on silly mountain roads.
Multiple times, yeah.
God's sake. You
I
were
drove
Johnny.
Greg B's LaFerrari Aperta on twisty roads on Sardinia.
I'm so
That was
angry.
epic at sunset.
That's all I want to do.
Sunsetting in a LaFerrari Aperta roof off.
I'm
Heaven.
so angry.
I went out with Powerside Lover driving in his Monza SP2, chasing him in his LaFerrari Aperta in the Dolomites at like 7 in the morning. Fantastic. And then
That's ridiculous.
and then I also I've had a couple of drives in LaFerrari, one in Beverly Hills, one in Oman, nice twisty roads in Oman. Wait a second.
You're so annoying.
I've driven LaFerraris on a lot of continents.
I'm sure there's numerous world records here. Some driving the most out of Ferraris in the
for
most.
somebody who doesn't work for Ferrari.
Yeah. Even so.
Yeah.
Mahmood, what's you doing?
Camera.
You are so annoying.
You got some tissue.
Look at this, the host with the most. Thank you,
Thank
Mahmood.
you.
For us the last time.
You serve pizza on
Thank you.
stream.
Tim, the guest. You can do
We
it.
literally-
So you two have actually known each other for a while, haven't
We
you?
have
You've
known
known
each
each
other.
other longer than I've known you, and longer than I've known you as well. You
11
actually.
years.
11. What?
God, how have you managed to not cut him out after 11 years? I know what, 4 years, and that's more than enough. I'm trying to work out.
Wait,
how to do
what
it.
was that driving with you? You just went
I,
through the trees again.
I don't know at this point. I'm just. I
Just
think,
shout if you need more info.
Thank you.
many thanks, Mahmood. Cheers. Mahmood, ladies and gentlemen. What was driving with me?
I thought it might have been a
Toyota
40
Camry.
but I couldn't really see.
No.
So the speed limit is 60 on this road.
Yeah, and I'm abiding by the speed limits as I always do. That's an interesting one, actually. Do you feel pressure in your videos to drive around like a buffoon? Because I know it goes on some
So
YouTube.
do you know what? I have a big topic around this.
Yes.
There is a big, I guess, feedback that people get from speed on videos. But
Yeah.
what particularly sometimes grinds my gears is that, for some reason, driving fast and illegally is good driving. Like
I'm still flat,
nice.
by the way.
You're not a good driver unless you are breaking speed limits, hitting the red line, cutting corners, and driving like
Exactly.
an idiot.
Buffoon, yeah.
You know, I'm very conscious of two things. One, I have a very big audience that are watching these videos. And if I film a video of myself driving 200 miles an hour on a motorway in the UK,
Yep.
I'm an idiot. Never done it, never going to do it.
No.
2, I'm also aware that there are a lot of, in many cases, young, impressionable people who are watching
Exactly.
it. And I don't want to set an example of, let's go break every law under the sun.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
I'm lucky to spend a lot of time at the Nürburgring, at the Autobahn, at track days, and these kind of things. If I want to drive hard, I'll drive there.
Yep.
Like there's a video of me driving in my Senna on the Nürburgring, and the BTG time would be about 7 minutes. Like a 7-minute lap on the Nordschleife, BTG, not full lap.
That's still chaos.
I know a pro could get my car around quicker than I could, but that's not exactly slow.
No.
Yet I'll get shouted at for driving like a granny and being a bad driver because I never put my foot down on the road.
It's irritating, isn't it?
Yeah.
People put your foot down. You don't drive your cars hard. It's like, well, if you slap around driving a F12 or a Pista or a Senna hard on a public road, it's immoral. It's criminal.
If you're on a countryside lane, the Senna will do the 0 to 60 miles an hour at the speed limit sprint in like 2.7 seconds.
Yep.
So if you're already on the move, let's say you're at 30 miles an hour and you don't have to deal with traction off the line, about half a second of acceleration, you're going over the speed limit.
Yeah.
So anybody who accelerates more than that is literally breaking the law, what's the word? Putting themselves on camera doing it.
Entrapping themselves or whatever.
Completely irresponsible in the process.
There is a lot of it that goes on, and I know some people have fallen foul of it. One person I know has.
Mm-hmm.
Very unfortunate, and it would, I'm not really aiming this at that particular individual, but there's a lot of it goes on, but seemingly without punishment, and I don't understand. I'm pretty sure that if I drove around, no hands on the wheel, doing 200 miles an hour on Instagram stories, I'd be arrested within
for sure
48 hours.
For sure.
And
So
I don't understand how it goes on, but
we see it all
happens.
the time.
Non-stop.
I get sent so many
I get it
clips
sent all the time as
of
well.
people massively abusing speed limits. Not like 15
78.
miles an hour over,
Yeah.
get 6 points done.
Yeah.
But like you're going to jail speeds
Yeah.
and not getting done for it. And it frustrates me because it means when somebody watches my video of accelerating in a country that's not, let's say, as vigilant as the UK,
Yes.
Italy or Spain or something else.
They enjoy it at the end of the day.
Yeah, a little bit.
Italians
of foot
love
down.
it. If you're in a Ferrari, you can do whatever you want. You've got
You know,
diplomatic immunity.
I'm like, stretch the speed limit a small amount, but not
Yeah.
very far, and no further.
Mm.
But in the UK, if I uploaded a video going 200 miles an hour in the UK, I would be in jail tomorrow.
Yep.
No question.
Yep. 100%.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
I don't understand it either, but there is very good reason you won't see.
So you just got done at 153. It's your new personal best. 153 miles an hour on a twisty road in the countryside.
There we go. This is going to be me in my Cotswolds house.
This
doing
is where we can live out these speeding fantasies.
international waters over there. Yeah, I mean, this is as fast as it gets because I don't really do any track time. A, it's not a good idea to take my cars on track because I'm useless. But B, do you know what? I don't get that much out of it. I know that sounds weird, but I'm just not a track guy. I think I know I'm terrible, so I don't want to do something that I know I'm bad at. I think that's quite. Yeah, there we go.
Senna with us.
Orange Senna. It's quite a cool spec actually.
The thing with cars, right, is I think everybody assumes supercars that we must all want exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
The simple fact is there are people who buy road supercars for
Yep.
track days. There are people who buy them for drag races. There are people who buy them to drive around Knightsbridge. There are people who
Hello.
buy them for a Sunday hoon. There are all sorts of different categories of people who buy cars
Yep.
who don't necessarily have the same objective.
Yep.
There are people who might pick up a car like a Senna for whom it is pocket change and they can do whatever they want.
Yep.
There are people who might, like myself, stretch their bank account into a level they should probably have not have gone to buy a
But
car like a
you've
Senna.
taken it round the ring. I mean, that is. I even mentioned it today in conversation. So I said how you dealt with the stress of that. I get stressed enough taking my Carrera GT for a pootle round, Chelsea, just to kind of stare at people out the window and do some revs up to 28 miles an hour. I get stressed though before I even get in the car because I know I'm getting in the car in that particular car, and
So I genuinely get more stressed now driving in a car like this in the centre of London than I do on the Nürburgring. I hate driving these cars in London now.
I
pressure-
can kind of
The pressure of being watched by so many people,
yeah.
the risk of how a very small close contact bump in a car like the Senna, if somebody in a traffic jam was taking a photo of you and went into your bumper in the Senna,
Yep.
that is like a 50 to 75,000 pound bill.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Bang.
funny.
Just a 2 mile an hour tap because it's a cracked carbon.
That's
diffuser.
what's in my head with Carrera GT. I was on King's Road the other day, shock, in my Targa, just sort of poncing about, as you do. Lovely day. I was pulling out of a side road onto the King's Road. So minor one-way road, very single narrow road onto the King's Road, and I was taking the right, and there was someone in front of me taking the right out onto the main road as well. He pulls halfway across the road and realises that he doesn't want to do that anymore, so he wants to reverse back into the side road. He then just reverses, whacks into reverse, doesn't even look
without looking,
just reverses straight back into my Targa. Luckily, that one car has impact bumpers, so it's literally designed to be reversed into.
Yeah.
It was a brand new MG 4x4 MPV, just the worst car I've ever seen, but 70 plate. I mean, MG, if you're watching and you want to pay me, holler. I love it if you pay me to say so, but the bumper was hanging off. So I found it quite amusing because it was, you know, it's instant karma. But he got out of the car and was instantly aggressive to me. I was like, your reverse lights came on and you literally moved 5 meters back into me. What was wrong with you? But I thought, if that's the Carrera GT, you know, suddenly you've got a bumper without original paint. Suddenly you're waiting
diminishing value
15 weeks for a bloody Carrera GT bumper from wherever.
Well, hold on. I mean, I literally got driven into in my Senna.
Yeah,
by a truck. So this I can speak firsthand. It took 21 months to get that settled.
Exactly, and it's
2 years of headache. And the amount of phone calls, emails, documents, evidence of everything.
Yep.
Absolute headache.
Complete nightmare.
So, on the Nürburgring, it could go really wrong.
I mean,
but in the city, it's quite likely to go a little bit wrong.
Yeah,
eventually you'll have a bump in the city.
Are you not worried about on the ring, people kind of just in their kind of M3s and stuff, just driving like this, basically?
Somebody in an M3 can keep up with you in a Senna.
They would be able to keep up with me.
You go around the outside of the corner around somebody in a Senna.
All right, it's your turn. Show us how it's done. I'm absolutely useless. I'm going to get on with some questions anyway.
Yeah, and you need to get on the pizza as well.
Oh yeah, chaos. Right, I'm going to speak with my mouth full then. This is why you're here, my appalling manners. Right, I am going to have a little look through these questions. People are basically just abusing my driving. But once you get on the grass, it just spins. There's nothing you can do.
Can't get off it.
You can't turn into it, turn out of it. Okay, fine. Someone's asking where Chris was. He's next door. Here's a good one. Tim, they're asking, what are your thoughts on the 812 VS? Sorry.
Versione Speciale. Literally Italian for special version. But doesn't it sound so much better in Italian when they call the names Versione Speciale? It's like quattro porte, 4 doors.
Yeah.
Or like any Italian name. There are so many like rumours, and I don't know why they've done this unusual launch by showing basically the car and telling us it has 830 horsepower and different bits and pieces without telling us the name of the car. And I read a funny article in Dutch on Autoblog about how they were joking it's going to be called the 812 Mozzarella because any Italian name works for a car as mental. To be fair,
it does. They got away with super fast. The only way is up after that.
Super duper fast.
There we go. Ferrari, if you're watching, there's your next name. Are you going to get one?
I think I need to have owned about 5 more Ferraris than I have to get one.
I think so too.
In short, it's not going to be a limited number like the 599 GTO at $599 and the TDF at $799 because they're going to make an Aperta. I mean,
they're doing a special Targa version.
Yeah.
Max Chilton told me this earlier. He replied very smugly to my story. Max, if you're watching, he said they're going to do a Targa version only offered to Monza owners. I might have just dumped him in it. Sorry about that, mate.
Well, I know more than I can talk about.
Is that true?
There's an Aperta version coming, but the renders of that have already gone around the internet if you look for them. So that's already in the public domain. That will be the limited one, the heavily limited one. So I'm interested to see what the prices do because on paper it's me in a car. You know, I love the 812 and I make no secret about that. It's one of my favourite cars in the world and I don't really know why I don't own one, other than
hurry.
Sorry?
Hurry, get it done.
Get it done. Yeah. The problem with it, if I can say problem, is that I don't think business case here that it will be as interesting as some of the other choices in the garage.
That's true.
Because it's not brand new. I wouldn't be able to buy a new one because I can't afford the first year depreciation. No secret there.
That's how.
You
can't order a new coupe now.
Really, you have to get a GTS.
Yep, GTS. And the GT. Do you remember when the GTS was coming in? Everyone was like, GTS limited, it's going to be overs. No. I spoke to a dealer recently and they've got 6 slots, so if you want one.
Yeah, I've heard similar.
But I don't think they'll be that bad because they are relatively limited. They're not numbered, but they're limited.
We'll see. But with the, will they even call it 812? Maybe it has a completely different name. We're calling it the 812. I mean, if you look at Ferraris recently, right? The new cars, Portofino, Roma, it's probably going to be an Italian city. The 812
Venice,
Maranello or the 812 Venezia. No, it doesn't sound hardcore enough, does it?
No.
812. 812. Something.
We'll get back to you on that. I'm having a little think whilst chewing.
I mean, they've not told anyone. They will reveal all at 2:30 p.m. on the 5th of May.
Wait, what? What
That's
day is
when-
it now?
April something.
We've seen it.
No, but they'll reveal the name and all the details because there's a lot they haven't shown us. They've shown us the first pictures and they've told us how much power it has and that it revs up to 9,500. But they haven't shown us yet the
centre dash has the little Roma thing. Have you seen it? You know the little silly little piddly. Oh God, I need to drop my pizza. Chaos. You know the silly little thing from the Roma. You know that little centre thing that you kind of prod and the silly little lights come on. And everything looks like kind of almost like a vibrator in the middle. You know that the new gearbox thing?
the silver gated manual auto box.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's in the VS.
Okay. Do you know, funny thing, Ferrari have been calling their special hardcores code name VS for a long time. Like the Speciale was the 458 VS. The TDF was the F12 VS. So a lot of people think every time they do this that VS is going to be the name. But it's just because it sounds so good in Italian.
It does.
So it's the only Speciale, whereas it just means special version.
They're not very imaginative over there at the moment, are they? I mean, super fast.
I find the Ferrari names so funny. If you take the whole lineup, right, of all the models they offer, you have Portofino M, a city and then M. You have 812 with Portofino capital P space capital M. You have 812 Superfast, which has no spaces and a little s, technically. Then you have 812 space GTS. Then you have like La Ferrari, which just doesn't make any sense.
Naming
Then you
convention,
have
sir.
F8 space Tributo with a capital. So 812 little Superfast, F8 capital Tributo.
Right.
If you look at all of the names, there are no two that follow the same structure.
It's very inconsistent, but that's very Italian, I guess. I guess it's authentic. They're just
Look, somebody's in a Portofino.
There we go.
Sweet. We've got a Portofino and we've got your M3. We need to find some tarmac.
So they did a spicy version of the Portofino, the M version, right?
Yeah, Portofino M.
Did they sell any of those? Have you seen
Well,
one?
it's not out yet.
Is it good?
First media drives, I hope, will be at some point. I'd like to drive it. Honestly, Portofino and Roma are actually good cars. I like them.
I was going to say hate the Roma. I had one nearly a week, and I wanted to give it back early.
Really?
Because they had my F12. It was a dealer cast. I've already been told off by HQ. But I didn't get on with the Roma. That video's coming. Portofino appeals though.
Really?
More than the Roma does, yeah. You'd either get a V8T Lusso,
So,
or you get a Portofino MHGT, whatever it is, but you wouldn't get a Roma.
so what
surely.
do you not like about the Roma?
I thought the tech inside was annoying. It was glitchy and annoying. And on the original press drives, when people were moaning that it was a bit glitchy and a bit crap, I thought, these are early cars. They're going to be poo, which is fine. We'll accept that. But mine was a little bit like, yeah.
Well, so I've not been in one since the media drive, but I was definitely, when I talked about the car being laggy and hard to press the start button, I was told that it would be better for the customer cars. And effectively, I guess you're saying it isn't.
No, but also the demo that I drove again is a very early car.
Yes,
That was probably made 6 months ago. So who knows? I also found
God, I'm going 191 miles an hour across the
in the sand.
grass.
Oh, no.
Head-on crash.
100% that one. I also find in race mode, in automatic, and this was actually an issue you highlighted about the Hurricane Evo. In race mode, in automatic, at 19 miles an hour, the car had me in 6th gear. There was nothing. And then when you whack your foot down to
Kick down.
get the kick down, is borderline non-existent. There's nothing there. And Ferraris of old and any other car you put in race mode or aggressive mode, it won't put you in 6th at 19 miles an hour. You're at 8th at like 24. It is honestly ridiculous. In race, auto.
Yeah. Well, you know what you can blame that on? Regulations.
Regulation. But why I took back to-
WLTP, Dieselgate.
Oh, I know why it's happened, but I just know that I had my F12 at the dealer.
Oh, I'm
that
on
I
the
chucked
beach.
in for it. There we go. Chuck it in the sea.
I did drive my GT500 on the beach recently.
Good work. I mean, you do get around in your cars. You put me to shame on that front. I think I'm at one end of the extreme with a silly collection that does nothing and goes nowhere, and you're at the other end of the spectrum where a silly collection that literally cannot go any further or do anything more.
I think across my entire fleet, I probably put 50, 60,000 miles a year on them
Really?
in total, if you add it all up.
Oh, yeah.
But because there's a lot of driving where we take multiple cars somewhere, I'm always on the road with the videos I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Always stuff going on. Oh, that was like 100 and something to 0.
Very well built car though. It seems fine.
Not sure.
Don't put up against an Asda truck though. Watch out for them.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. Let's get into some more questions then. Can you ask Tim if he is considering the new Koenigsegg Jumeirah when it's available, or has he been asked if he wants a slot?
I mean, the Jumeirah isn't sold out. You can contact your local Koenigsegg dealer and purchase one. It is, however, a roughly €2 million car when you've spec'd it and paid taxes on it. So what's that? £1.8, £1.7?
Depending. Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and that's assuming the price doesn't go up between now and obviously delivery, because you pay the price at delivery, not the price now.
Yep.
With many of these things, for me, to spend double my Senna, more than double my Senna, on a car that I have no doubt is an amazing car in terms of the technology, in terms of what it can do, in terms of what it is, it's so unique. But if I'm spending $2 million on a car, I'd rather have a Lusso and something else, a Lusso and a LaFerrari, or a Lusso and a P1.
F50?
A bit more. That would be about $3 million now, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's annoying. It's annoying like so many things. These cars were all way cheaper in recent memory.
It's bonkers. That's good news though, I guess. F50's 3 million. Drags Carrera GTs up.
I'm sure it does.
We hope. Please.
Can I get a Carrera GT before they go up too much?
That was my thinking. And then one came up, I was like, yes. You should get one.
I
Do
got
you
my
like the Carrera GT?
SLS at the right time. Because the SLSs are way higher now than when I bought one.
Yeah, because
Which is mad.
I wanted one as well.
Like genuinely, I look every now and then. I'm not completely value driven because I intend to keep it. I didn't buy it to ever sell it.
It's nice to know though that you haven't lost your shirt. It's a nice feeling.
Yes, and you have to update values for insurance and things with these cars. And when you put them in transporters and stuff, you sometimes have to say what they're worth.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that if I wanted to buy another one now, I would be spending significantly more than I bought mine for, which is comforting. Yeah, I would love a Carrera GT. So I talked about this. My dream car list before I bought the SLS.
Someone's saying you do need a Carrera GT, so you have to get one now.
So before I got the SLS, my dream car list was...
I'll pick it up and embarrass
you
myself.
for a while, was F50, Carrera GT, SLS. And
Right.
in that order of reverse values, because the F50 I'm never going to be able to afford. The Carrera GT, maybe if I stretch into one.
Keep training.
And the SLS, got it done. The SLS obviously happened, so now there's this like floating third spot waiting to be filled. A car I would love, and I've talked about a lot, is the Lexus LFA.
Oh, they are
But
good.
it's the same as Carrera GTs. I remember being offered one for €200,000 when nobody could sell them.
Yeah.
And now it would be €600,000 for a European spec car. What, you are literally in the sea.
Yeah, putting it where it belongs. Get in there. In you go.
Well, that Senna would be dead now. That would not be functioning.
I've ruined the... oh no, we're back.
Turn right to go to Edinburgh.
Perfect. Let's go there then. Yeah, so you think a Carrera GT may happen. If you got offered one, let's be honest, if you got offered one off market and it was a sensible price, would you be tempted now?
Mm-hmm.
Good man. I think you should do it. Imagine. You've driven more Carrera GTs than... You spend more time in a Carrera GT than I have, and I own one. And I've owned it for over a year. That's hell.
How many miles have you done?
You want the honest answer,
Mm-hmm.
and my audience are going to hate me for this. Have a guess. How many miles do you think I've done in a Carrera GT? Considering I've had it for a year.
I had a day out in a Carrera GT once, and in one day I did 200.
Right, you beat me then.
So I did more in one day in a Carrera GT than you have in a year. Tom.
But have you driven a Carrera GT around central London? Have you done it?
I don't want to.
Especially no, nor do I. That's why it sits there. It's going to move to its new house in the Cotswolds.
Yeah, and please have some Sunday like countryside.
I will, and you know what? Not all of it will go on the internet. Sometimes it will just be for me, just to actually enjoy the car.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there's also how many times can I go for a Sunday drive and film it, and people will watch it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I find the I find the interest on those cars is less. Like the Carrera GT gets less interest on my channel than, you know, picking up someone else's Black Series, for example, like new stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to
it's a
get.
Yesco. You just flew past the Yesco.
What's it? Oh, Koenigsegg Chaos. Didn't realise it was on the game yet. Would you get one of them? How much are they? 3 million?
More.
Free.
Yeah. 3 point something.
free of charge.
Dream big.
It's a few videos, who cares?
There's a few videos. It's like a lifetime.
A few Squarespaces, a couple of Manscapes, in you go. Lovely.
You're awful. And these guys know it.
Yeah, no, they all know it.
People are with us here.
An absolute pig.
1,350 something people are with us here. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for joining in. I'm amazed you're still here, to be honest. What cars have you both lost the most money on? There we go, there's a nice juicy question. Everyone loves this question. Yeah, I've got a very obvious winner. And are we talking about...
Can I guess which yours is?
Yeah.
Is it a Ferrari with a V12?
It's a V8 turbo, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even get the good one. That's why it was so bad. It was unsellable.
Yeah, Veloce.
Yeah.
What's mine?
Are we talking about cars that you're in currently at the moment? I guess they're all okay.
I mean, I mean, I lost a lot of money on like my 675, but I've owned it for 5 and a bit years, so...
The longer you keep it, the more that kind of averages out. Yeah.
It still would be a painful amount per year, but...
Man maths it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
don't look at it as a one-time hit. And I'm not going to sell it, so it's irrelevant. Probably I'd have lost the most of my Senna if I did sell it, but I'm not going to sell it, so it's not so
I feel though that your Senna, because being YouTube cars, they do go well. If you even intimated that you'd sell it, I mean, I'm sure you've got people wanting to buy it anyway, but if you intimated that you were going to sell it, someone would have it almost immediately. But do you find it's relatively easy to come out of cars?
It goes both ways, right? But generally, yeah.
You're never seen abusing your cars, and you're one person that if something needs doing on a car,
oh, every one of my cars is serviced.
You're not going to go down to wherever it is and just bodge some parts in. What? My phone.
Shall I check your phone?
I can check it. Well, we're gonna have an accident here whilst I check my my unbranded phone. Here we go. One second. We've got some news in, apparently. Chaos.
I never said which of my cars lost the most.
Yes. So Senna, you think wouldn't be that nice if you came to get out of it?
So the most money I've lost on a car in a very short amount of time was my 911 GT3. When I bought
lost money?
I lost a lot of money.
You got it at retail?
Yeah, but not in the UK. The UK has this weird bubble. It's only UK. Porsche GT cars are only limited in the UK and the US.
Really?
So, new 992 GT3, you want one, call a dealer in Germany and buy one.
Really?
Yes!
But you get a lefty, but then I guess it doesn't really matter, especially if you get PDK.
Depends what you want it for.
Just bang around and fine. And you can get PTS easier as well.
It's this weird UK bubble. Anyway, the flip side is they sell for less afterwards.
Oh, chaos. I didn't realise that.
No, so I only owned it for 6 months. Yes, I did 10,000 kilometres in it, but I only owned it for 6 months, so that cost me a fair old whack. Other cars I lost a lot of money in, AMG GTR. I did 20,000 miles in 2 years, but that took a dive.
Are we able to give a rough ballpark? If I said 30?
No, way more.
Chaos. 30
more than
bags.
double that. More than double that. In 2 years.
It's horrible and it's an obscene amount of money, but it gets a lot worse in the scene.
I mean, my Lusso didn't lose that much. My Lusso was significantly less than my AMG GTR.
You bought that pre-owned though, which was the sensible thing to do.
I bought a pre-owned one.
Only
Ran it for 2
morons
years.
bought one new.
Hello. It varies, but in some cars you get out of them up. As well. So
I wouldn't know anything about that, Tim. I don't sell cars for overs and make money out of them, and pretend I still own them, even though I sold them months ago. I'd never do such a thing. Would I ever do such a thing? It's awful practice that. Good. It's an easy one for me. How much money? I bang on about it the whole time. I lost 55, 60k on that car, and I drove it once.
wow.
But yeah, that's what happens when you force people to buy.
I should ask.
You can look at the questions if you want.
Well, I should ask
Give me
people
question
if you want to see a video from me about my cars and what's lost how much. And
they love it. I mean, it did relatively well on my channel, and so I got 4 views on that one as opposed to the usual 2.
So let's, Shmee, when will you do a road trip with the UK car YouTubers?
Is that
I'd like to
happen?
do a UK road trip. I'd like to take a bunch of my cars on a UK road trip. I don't know who would join or how would do it, but with some of the guys.
Too many miles, mate. I'm not coming. It's more than 3 miles. Not interested.
Top of Scotland.
There may be an
This is the
opportunity.
difference between us. I'm like, right, I need to find at least 5 friends so we can take 6 cars and do 1,000 miles in all.
Panicking already. I'm flapping. I'm sweating. No, I'm taking a couple of cars. I think to the south of France in a couple of months.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, trucking them the whole way down there though. Which I'll get abuse for, no doubt.
Here's a question, Shmee. What do you do for a living besides YouTube? And you'd be exactly the same. I think people forget how much time actually goes into producing content every single day. Uploading video nearly every day.
I don't know how you do it. I mean, I like to churn, but I genuinely I could not do what you do. I couldn't do it.
So
couldn't.
For me, YouTube is easily a 10 to 12 hour a day job, 7 days a week, and then the rest of the hours of each
for
of
you.
those days. Yeah, for me.
Just because you're an automotive YouTuber, it doesn't mean that for everyone that's 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You make it that way because you put out so much content, and a lot of it is so well commercialized, and that's a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of planning.
But if you're literally just putting out 2-3 videos a week on whatever you fancy with a car driving around the block, it's actually not that much work. So there's a huge distinction.
Relative.
Yeah.
I mean, talking to brands, setting up videos, it takes a lot more work than people would realise.
Yeah.
But then what I was going to say is then the other hours of the day are the side businesses. So it's 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is the job. There's no kind of full-time job outside of this. When will you be back at the Nürburgring and which cars? Hopefully soon. Hopefully every car that I haven't taken to the ring. I want to take, I try and take every one of my cars for a lap of the ring.
That's
And
chaos
most of them
doing
have
that.
done it, but
Can't
not the
believe
new
that.
ones. So there was a point last year where I only owned one car that I hadn't done a lap of the ring in, which is my Heritage Focus RS.
You're joking.
It's only one car in my
You've done
garage.
well to not take a corner off any of them.
Yeah, I've done 100 plus laps and nothing's gone wrong yet. I'm sure it will one day, unfortunately. Would you ever consider moving to America? I would certainly consider it. Difficult, complicated one because of finances and businesses and stuff set up over here, but I'd certainly think about it. Are you and STG, Supercars of London, all friends? Yes, absolutely.
No beefs.
No beefs.
Maybe we should invent one. Maybe
Invent a beef.
Maybe I should
Invent
start
a
one
beef.
up.
Invent a beef. Have some diss tracks, and then go have a boxing match.
Boxing match. Like the amount of times I get asked, would you box so and so? It's like, yeah, probably for money. Why not? Officially or unofficially, punch most people for a few quid. Yeah, I quite like this question, Master. Yeah, carry on. I'm enjoying this. What else have we got? I'm doing 207 here.
We've got a fair few things that we've already talked about.
Are you avoiding the controversial ones? I know you.
No. I'm just reading over lots of watch questions.
Loads of watch questions.
What are your thoughts on the new Richard Mille RM2101 Tourbillon?
Would you ever get an RM? I mean, there's millions of
I
pounds.
considered getting the Senna RM. I did consider it. Because as the Senna owner, you were allowed to buy the matching chassis number.
You should have done it.
And
then flipped
thing
it.
is-
Whee!
Okay, I thought about this two ways. I was like, number one, there is no way I am going to walk around with £150,000 of watch on my wrist.
True.
Not for me.
No.
Like, never for me. I don't mind driving the cars, but never in my life do I want to watch that expensive on my wrist.
No.
Because I will just smack it into something and break it.
Yeah.
Or have it stolen.
Or
from
someone
me.
will track you down and try
Yeah.
to rub it off you.
So, I was like, well, I could buy it, but I'm never going to wear it. That was number one. So then it was like, well, I could buy it and then flip it and make some money, but that's just not me. And you see that from my garage. I don't buy any car to flip. If I
No.
counted up how many people have accused me of flipping cars over the years.
I
Never done it either.
do such a thing.
But for me, I've never once in my life flipped a car.
No.
Every car I've bought, I've done a bunch of
That's why I
miles.
struggle to get stuff there a lot of the time now, because I have got rid of things quickly in the past, so it does bite you
Yeah,
in
people
the
know.
butt.
And
Yeah.
if you do it on one brand, another brand knows about it.
Yep, 100%. So, oh well.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to just read some questions. I've had quite a few people asking me recently, where's my BMW M8? The M8 went at the end of last year when I decided I wasn't going to be in Germany anymore. So we
enough.
kind of moved out of Germany. The M8 was registered in Germany, and it was kind of like, well, this isn't going to work, especially with the current circumstances, and having ordered an M3 in the UK. So the M8 went, October last year, November last year? Before the end of the year, I can't remember exactly. I did talk about it on a video.
Yeah, you must have missed that, guys, if you're asking that question. One thing I want to butt in very quickly. If you're watching this right now, make sure you're following Veloce on all their social platforms, be it their YouTube, be it their Instagram. There's TGE Tuesdays, sometimes on Wednesdays, live streams with special guests, and they're also heavily involved in Extreme E. They've got their own racing team, which is really, really cool. And they're up to all sorts of stuff. They do F1, they do loads of gaming stuff. So make sure you are following them. Should they follow them, Tim?
Definitely, of course.
Absolutely. There
Here we
go.
are. I got excited by this question because it's something I'd love to talk about.
Yes.
To
So we
me-
go. It's on its
to me.
roof. Finally.
And it's back the right way around.
Oh.
You only bought the GTR Pro to get the GT Black Series, and now you're going to sell it. Does that count as flipping a car? So tell me,
someone's having a go there.
Does it count as flipping a car if you've owned it for 2 years, Nürburgringed it, tracked it at Donington Park with it, driven it across Europe, top speed on the VMAX on the Autobahn? If I was going to flip it, that would be the dumbest thing I could do.
You're not very good at flipping, basically.
If I'm trying to flip, I'm an awful flipper. No, the GTR Pro, I made no secret, I loved my AMG GTR, the first one. And that's why I have even now the GTR Pro and the Roadster and the Black Series Cummings, because it's me in a car. This front mid-engine layout, good Grand Tourer, but still sporty, aggressive on a racetrack. It's me in a car. That's what I like. That's why I've got so many cars of that ilk in the garage.
You love an AMG GT?
I do.
They're great.
Yeah, but I'm literally
cars.
Putting my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying it. I've gone and bought a bunch of them because I genuinely like them.
And you're not making money on them when you come out of them. You're not. You don't come out up on them.
No, I knew ordering.
And they're not free. Do Mercedes give you cars?
No.
When your plate goes on a car, is that a freebie?
No.
Exactly.
And you couldn't. You couldn't put your plate on a freebie car.
This is what does my head in. People, even I get it. People are like, well, he's obviously been given that. So I absolutely wish there was no better car than a free car, and sadly none of mine are free.
No, if
occasionally slightly better deals, occasionally on some cars, not necessarily say Mercedes, but occasionally we'll get better deals. Maybe.
You might be able to negotiate some things, but no,
rarely.
I get this all the time as well with the AMGs. No, I paid full list. I actually paid full list price on all my AMG GTs. So suicidal decision, but alas, that's in the past. Same like the Black Series. The Black Series is savagely expensive. It's 335 UK, fully spec'd, fully loaded.
Same as my Pista.
Yeah, silly money. Silly money.
They are mega.
But I don't get any discount. I'm paying 335.
Did you ask for a discount?
I should have done. Well, I hoped I'd have the car already. I hoped it was going to be here at the end of
It's not too late. Just say it's late. I want 50 grand off. That's reasonable. In my head, that's
watching.
50 grand off Tim's bill. Cheers, guys. Nice one, lads.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No, so, yes, there is an element of buying the Pro. I would love to have the Black Series afterwards.
Yeah.
But nobody from Mercedes said you have to buy it like that. I said, hey, I've done 20,000 miles in my GTR. I've enjoyed a load of track work in it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be lovely to have the facelifted, updated, limited edition one?
Yeah.
To start afresh with a brand new car. So it's not flipping. It's it's part of the process. It's like so many of these things. I want the Black Series because I like the base models.
Yeah.
So I buy the base models and then I might get the Black Series. It's like what, chicken or egg? What comes first?
It's like buying some Tudors in a watch dealership to try and get some Rolex stuff, for example. Tudors are great, but just you have to sometimes play the game
it's not quite like that.
Although you actually want them.
No, it's like buying something you want to get something else you want.
Perfect.
If I bought the Pro literally to flip it, I would have done 0 miles in it, flipped it after 6 months, as some people have done. It's not.
I saw those.
It's
saw
not.
Some of them.
Yeah, you don't do this to flip. So we got a ton of questions in here. Definitely a 5-star Euro NCAP rating on that Senna. I agree.
It's doing
it's
well. Carbon
piece.
tub, mate. It's strong. They're strong old boys, these cars.
It's been upside down multiple times. Here's a question. Any further news on the TVR Griffith? I would love to have some news on the TVR Griffith. I don't know what's happened to the TVR Griffith. I don't know if we're ever going to see the TVR Griffith. I don't know if... I first saw it at the private deposit holders preview in early 2017. Over 4 years ago. And it's not in production yet. So I would love it to happen. I speak to every now and then. I send them an email, of course, because I'm an enthusiast of these things. Saying, guys, can we have a car, please? Make the car. I want to buy one. I want to give them my money to buy a TVR Griffith. But I don't know. I don't have any.
Have they got deposit money off people?
Yeah. Sensible deposit, a couple of grand.
Okay, perfect. Like a intent kind of thing. Are there any new cars coming out that you're excited about? What about the new GT3? Will you try and get one? Do you want one? No. Would you want one?
I never gelled enough with.
Apparently, there were none in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely none.
Chaos.
Yes. Porsche said there were no GT3s for media activities.
Everyone was just driving a hologram.
Yes, all holograms. Anyway, would I get one? Not if I had to play any kind of silly game for it. No, I would enjoy one for sure.
Yeah.
But I make no secret, I'm more the Cayman platform.
Yeah.
I like the Porsche mid-engine platform.
Yeah, you had a GT4 before, didn't you?
So talking cars I'm excited for, apart from the two I've got on order, the GT Black Series and the Hurricane STO. on that list of cars I'm excited for is certainly the Cayman GT4 RS.
That
I
would be
think that will be
sick.
an absolutely awesome car. Like, no question, it'll be an awesome car. So I'm excited about that.
You'll try and get in the pot for one of those, yeah?
Mhm.
Try and get your order in for one of those. Hopefully it happens. Hopefully they don't can it. I mean, I suspect surely it'll happen. It'll be a cash cow. That would be great. I'm excited for the GT3 RS. Not that I'll be allocated one. I'll probably have to buy a slot off some lowlife, but
I mean, I think people don't really realise it, but when it comes to car collecting, you are quite the Porsche collector.
I am now, yeah, and that's just how things are. It's not because I think they do well online, because believe you me, they bloody don't. My channel's on its arse because of all the Porsche stuff. It's just how things have turned out. I love Porsche. I actually love Ferrari as well. I know I give them a hard time. But yeah, it's just the way it's panned out, and I've got more Porsches coming. It's just going to get out of hand. I mean, I roped him in on my plans, and he has told me off a few times. He said, "What are you doing? You lost your mind. Like, why are you getting another one? Like, that's pretty much just the same as another one, just maybe a few years older. Like, just stop it."
Yeah.
But no, I'm not listening. I'm just going to carry on collecting. I've got Turbo S Cab coming in August.
It's just a convertible right at the end of summer. Perfectly played.
Well, you can't pick these things. Sometimes it just happens when it happens. It's another cancelled order, but I've managed to spec this one.
Oh, cool.
How would you spec one? I've changed my spec since my video, so I get another video out of it.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
How would I spec a Turbo S?
It's quite a hard car to spec, actually. The coupe.
Well,
Sorry,
thing
the
is,
cab, not the coupe.
my Porsches have been blue, bright green, and dark green. So I'm not a normal colour
You're
car
not.
chooser
We've
for
got
a
very
Porsche.
differing spec.
Your Porsches are black, 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 black.
Boring. That sums me
Yeah.
up then, to be fair.
Hey, you found the base again.
See, I'm not that bad. I've bumped my way around.
It's
How long
quite-
we got left? We've got 5 minutes left. Right, should we do a quick fire question round?
Okay, let's quick
fire
one.
let's try and answer them in three words or less.
I'm trying to find questions that I can ask to you.
They don't care about me. They've shown that recently.
Guys, let's have some quick fire questions for Tom.
Fire them in. They're not interested in me. They're all here to see you, mate. You're the,
Maybe I'll quick fire some for me.
Yeah, crack on.
Would we ever see a pure JDM car in my garage? Perhaps one day. I think prices on anything exciting are just too high, as with so many of these things.
Yep.
Have I ever thought about buying any classic cars? I talked recently actually about that I'd quite like to get a 60s Mustang, something like that.
Not
Not
a
crazy
classic
money.
Porsche, mate. They're great. They don't
Well,
rust.
I'm not.
They don't rust at all.
No, none of them? Never?
No.
Perfect.
No rust ever on any Porsche.
Sounds spot on.
Yeah, perfect.
Old Minis don't either.
No, I've heard that. Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
one thing
mind. I
I've
wouldn't
heard.
mind another old Mini. But a classic Mustang is like a not too expensive way into a classic.
Like an Eleanor type vibe? Is that?
No, just a 60s fastback of some generic variety, 50 grand, that kind of thing.
Perfect. Yeah,
Nothing
that's
crazy,
good.
crazy
Do
money.
they rust? I mean, suspect.
Probably.
We like
But you
rust.
know, I can't afford the classics I would like. You know, things like a 300 SL. So give up and stop dreaming. Not there yet. What do I think of TGE crowdfunding an F40?
I mooted that idea out of 30 odd thousand people
Would
that watch my
people do it?
stories. 2 people had a go at me. They're like, "This is disgusting. This is in bad taste. How dare you? Blah blah blah. Furlough or whatever." And most people are like, "Yeah, brilliant. I'll give you $1,000." So it was quite a mixed response, but 99% of
If you
people.
crowdfunded an F40, I'd probably put something behind
I mean, mate, he crowdfunded a holiday, so I don't see why I can't crowdfund an F40. And the idea would be for me to own all of it and nobody to own any of it. So if you want to sign up to that, holler at your boy and I'll set it up. But
Drop Tom a message.
I reckon, but I said I would just need to fund the deposit. I would pick up the monthlies, which would be $7 grand a month. I did a Charles and Dean quote with a kind of 150, 200 grand deposit. Job's a good one.
Oh, these questions are coming in really fast now.
Yeah, you see, you've gone
But
and
there's a
done it.
lot of copy paste. So guys, please only send them once because it makes a lot of scrolling.
You'll get ignored if you copy and paste.
Yeah, it's
There we go.
difficult. New M3 or old M3?
I know, obviously, this is going to be controversial, but I'm not even
No
remote.
M3.
I'm not even remotely interested.
Okay, no
In new
no
BMWs,
M3.
I'm afraid.
No M3.
Go off-road, sod it, I don't care.
Scrolling through.
Keep it clean as well, please, guys. This is a family show. No obscenities. Are you filtering through the colourful language?
Why the problems with my Lamborghini Urus style?
Why? I think they probably don't like the The clickbait I did on my
Oh,
Urus.
did you clickbait it?
Have you seen my Urus?
I've seen it, but I don't know what the problems are with it.
There were no problems with it. Basically, I did a video at PDI with its state before I modified it, because I modified it before delivery, but I filmed with it before I did the modifications, and then released that after I collected it, which screwed with people's heads a little bit.
Okay.
So I said there were problems with it in the title.
I've done things in the wrong order before, and it's very.
People don't get it. They're like, ow. Not realising the internet's
You'll
not
probably
live.
remember my main one. My main one I did was the Senna while you're driving it, because I collected the Senna at MTC unwrapping it for Christmas.
Oh
But
yeah.
then in reality, I actually had collected it at the dealer a few days before. But so I uploaded the collection of the dealer video afterwards, and it was very confusing because how could I already have seen it pre PDI? Yet I collected it. Yeah. But I had to.
It's
That
not
had
that
to be done for
confusing
Christmas.
though,
That
is it?
video was like. That video wasn't me collecting the car. That video was sharing with you guys collecting the car. Like the
There you go.
experience, the reveal, the excitement of it at that time. 2 and a bit years ago now. That's the crazy thing.
Can't believe that. It's bonkers. Right, final two.
Final two.
Making good ones or not. They can be
We're
rubbish.
literally getting the same questions that we were already answering.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you were given £1 million, what car would you buy?
F40,
Yeah, that's £1 million done. Okay.
the whole budget. Go.
I'd buy a CGT and an LFA. I'd have two.
Don't think you can afford one now, mate. CGTs are £1 million. Do you know that?
Are they?
Yep, they're £1 million. Everyone, they're £1 million. Yep, they're £1 million. Don't look it up. Don't
to
try
some
and
of
back
you
up the
guys,
facts.
it's £1 million.
Yep,
Okay.
all of you.
One more.
Final one.
It needs to be an amazing comment. It needs to be an amazing, not like something general. There's so many like big potential questions here.
One that we're not going to waffle on.
One that we're
Make it
not.
I'll pick one out.
You can pick one. You can pick one.
All right, guys.
That would be a great one for talking about for ages, but we're not going to go down that path.
Best moment of 2020. Go on. That's a nice one.
Oh, I'm going to say this. Somebody said Max Fosh for London Mayor. Yes, go Max.
I don't know what that means.
Max Fosh, YouTuber, British YouTuber, really funny videos, great guy. Watch his videos.
Should he be mayor? Will he
You
get
should
rid of
get
the
some.
congestion charge?
Well, the beauty of the London mayoral election is that you have a first and second choice. So you can
True.
vote for whoever you want as first, but put who you really want as second. Like, because it's
True.
But it's
Protest vote and an actual vote.
Have you looked at the bookies' odds on the election? It's going one way.
Really?
Yes, it's like yeah.
Who's
Well, look at
gonna
the
be?
general election. Sadiq will continue. Like,
Oh.
I guess I'm not a politician. I don't know about this world, but
Right, that's
what was the actual interesting question?
Best moment.
Best moment of 2020.
2020, yeah.
Best moment of 2020. God, that goes back a long way actually. Maybe taking delivery of my SLS. That was pretty cool.
That's my favourite car of yours that you've ever owned. That's
Yeah.
it's magic. And what you did to it's great. Silver wheels, great.
Silver wheels, painted blue.
Ignore the internet.
Noisy, loud, lots of
Great.
miles. Nürburgring Autobahn.
Mm.
Daily driver. Many miles. No
Yes.
garage queens. No garage queens at all.
No, that's
I'm
my
gonna
job.
I'm gonna try and like inject some no garage queens ethos into you.
You're going to have to inject some money as well with it. Yeah? If you give me £1 million to sit on, then I might put some miles on my cars. But until then, I am up to there. The water is there. So, yeah.
Watch out.
Yes. Best moment for me, 2020, collecting Crow GT. I was stressed.
And we did them in the same week.
We did. Yeah, that was a chaotic
So I
week.
think I
for
came
everyone.
straight back and came and joined you for the CGT.
Yes.
Just
you did.
Just
You were there.
before everything shut down.
Yeah.
But then we didn't upload the videos, and by the time we uploaded the videos, everything was shut down, and the whole world couldn't understand how this was possible.
And it was in really bad taste collecting like a 600 grand car in the middle of everything shutting down.
The world did what it did. We can't change it.
No, and I may as well get a Crow GT if I want one. So that's that. But no, you joined me for that. Forgot about that. Right, we're going to wrap things up there because we've overrun. We've got too excited.
That's all good. You're in the sea, so's the Speedtail.
Where they belong. Couldn't resist it. Thank you very much for joining in.
Pleasure.
Nice one. Make sure, as I said at the start, well, halfway through, you're following Veloce on all their platforms. There'll be more from myself, TGE, very soon. Thankfully, Shmee, for you, you won't have to bear me again for quite some time. Actually, we may have something to announce soon, but we're not getting
We'll
married
see.
before the funny comments come in. I'm still trying on that. But yeah, we may have something to announce very soon, so do stay tuned for that, which is very exciting. For now,
Perfect.
congrats on all the success. Thank you very much for joining. And thank you guys at home for joining in. Stay tuned for more TG Tuesdays on Tuesdays from here at Veloce HQ. Cheers, pal.
Cheers.